I'm Zola. It's going a very good evening. This is the weekend edition of Primetime News. Well, we are coming to you live and direct from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo this evening. Let's take a look at the headlines. The subjects of the new ministries published in an extraordinary gazette. Varied views expressed regarding the allocation of subjects for ministries. Is there another scandal brewing behind the electronic NIC? Revolutionary Serasa TV celebrates 19 years. Allegations leveled that the Sri Lanka Schools Hockey Federation is extorting from students. The Serasa Pulathisi Posanudhaniya concludes amidst much grandeur. Into the news in detail now. The extraordinary gazette in relation to the subjects that come under the ministers who were shuffled recently has been published.
The subjects that would come under the Ministries of Finance and Mass Media, Development Assignment, Foreign Affairs, Lands and Parliamentary Reforms have been announced through the Extraordinary Gazette. Accordingly, the Development Lotteries Board and the National Lotteries Board, which were under the Ministry of Finance before, now comes under the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ravi Karunanayake. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs also overlooks the diplomatic missions abroad, the Lakshman Kadirgamar Institute for International Relations and Strategic Studies, and the National Oceanic Affairs Committee Secretariat. The new Minister of Finance and Mass Media, Mangala Samaravira, has been allocated 33 institutions. Notably, they do not include the Central Bank of Sri Lanka and state banks. The Department of Inland Revenue, Sri Lanka Customs and the Department of Excise continue to function under the Minister of Finance and Mass Media. In addition, the General Treasury, Department of Fiscal Policy and the Department of National Budget come under the Minister of Finance and Mass Media. Although the monitoring and evaluation in regard to the subjects of public finance, taxation, macro-financial management in accordance to national policy framework come under the Ministry of Finance and Mass Media, the formulation of national development programs and projects come under the Minister of National Policies and Economic Affairs, who is also the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister also overlooks the subjects of monitoring revenue collection and expenditure and formulation of national policies to fulfill sustainable development targets. Meanwhile, the Employees Trust Fund comes under the new Minister of Development Assignment, Tilak Marapana. The Employees Trust Fund was previously held by the Ministry of National Policies and Economic Affairs. The Miloda Academy of Financial Studies, which was under the Ministry of Finance, has been vested with the Minister of Development Assignment. The Kantale Sugar Company continues to function under the Minister of Lands and Parliamentary Reforms. The Department of Government Printing, National Film Corporation and the State Printing Corporation have been removed from the Ministry of Mass Media and are now under the Minister of Public Administration and Management, Ranjit Madhuma Bandara. The protection and development of Kandyan heritage continues to function under the Minister of Social Empowerment and Welfare, S.P. Disanayake. The planning, implementation, supervision and coordination of special projects in the Sabaragamu province have been vested with the Minister of Labour and Trade Union Relations, W.D.J. Seneviratne.
Various views have been made after this extraordinary gazette was published.
The government is making decisions to please those within the government. When one knot is untied, another is created. The Lotteries Board is a gold mine.
It does not matter who is given what, if the work is done accordingly. I do not see anything wrong if the portfolio is given to a talented person who works for the country and does not steal. If the work is done properly, there is no need to conduct post-mortems to ascertain who gets what. If there is something wrong, tell us. If an organization is not functioning properly, tell us. We will remove that.
This has happened before. When I was Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister Mangala Samaravira was given subject of technology, including Sri Lanka Telecom. That was a policy decision taken by the government and the President. When I was Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sri Lanka Telecom came under our ministry. These are not two serious institutions. The President may have his reasons to vest those subjects with the Foreign Minister. There is no contradiction in that.
We follow the stance of the people because we are with the people. The public representatives in the government are not those who bow down to everything. That is why we are different and our government is different. If something is right, we will praise it, and if we see anything wrong, we will point it out. We are not afraid to say that. The Employees Trust Fund, which was under the Prime Minister, has been assigned to the Ministry of Development assignments. This is the scientific base of the present government when it comes to allocation of subjects. We would like to ask what is the reason for the National Lotteries Board and the Development Lotteries Board, both which were under the Ministry of Finance, to be vested under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Cabinet spokesperson might say that the National Lotteries Board and the Development Lotteries Board were vested with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to generate a greater revenue for the government. They might assume that they can generate a greater revenue by selling lotteries to foreigners than to the locals. What are the institutions that come under the Ministry of Finance? The Central Bank is now under the Prime Minister. The National Lotteries Board and the Development Lotteries Board are with the Foreign Minister. So, what is the task of the Finance Minister and the Finance Ministry? It is evident that the task of the Finance Minister is to table a budget prepared by someone else. All profit-making institutions and attached institutions of the Ministry of Finance are vested under different ministries. This is a serious issue and it concerns the country's economy. We urge the government to stop playing games.
The Sirasa Pulatisi Posanudane held the historic Polonnaruwa Galvihara, aiming to invoke blessings on the people affected by floods and landslides, as well as the general public and the country, drew to a close today.
A special puja was performed for the Sarvachandata relics and the relics of the Maharahat Theras placed at the Sirasa Pulatisi Posanudane this morning. The event was graced by President Maithripala Sirisena.
I informed the Buddhists across Sri Lanka that the Sirasa Pulatisi Posan Udanya, which was organized to mark Posan Poya Day 2017, concludes today in an extremely successful manner.
I pray that the people who did not get the opportunity to pay reverence to the sacred relics this time get to do so, and next year Posan Poya Day right here at the Galvihara premises. I pay my respects to the Chairman, Board of Directors and staff of the Capital Maharaja Organization, the members of the three armed forces, Venerable Upali Thera, Venerable Attadissa Thera and the Mahasangha in the Polonnaruwa district. The sacred relics placed at the premises of the Polonnaruwa Galvihara were returned to the Nelligala International Buddhist Center today. The historic Polonnaruwa Posan Perahara paraded the streets last night. The Perahara commenced from the Watadagaya after the casket bearing the relics were placed on the elephant by the President.
Shifting your attention to some weather news this evening, the Met Department cautions the naval and fishing communities when setting out to sea, as wind speeds could increase up to 60 to 70 kilometers per hour along the sea areas of the country. News1st inquired into the well-being of those who took shelter in temporary camps following the landslides.
12 families have taken refuge in this camp following the risk of landslide in the Punjakhanda in Pimbura, Kalutara. The people of this temporary shelter are facing socio-economic challenges as swift solutions are yet to be provided. It was reported that the children in this camp do not have even the basic facilities. The mountain is even more dangerous than before. We are scared to go back. When it rains, we cannot run with the small children, especially at night. If not a house, at least provide us with a plot of land. On the 26th of last month, a landslide was reported on the Aliyagoda Thalavya mountain. The father and 2 children of this family died as a result of the landslide. The rest of the family members, the mother and her 2 children who survived, have taken refuge at the Family Health Service office in Thalawiyya. The family say that they have been asked to leave the premises even though they have not been given a permanent solution to the issue of housing. All of us are being asked to leave, but we have no place to go to. We don't even have relatives to live with. All of us who were in the Thalawa now have nowhere to go. We cannot go back to our houses. We therefore contacted the relevant Grama Seva Niladhari officer over the phone in this regard.
ඒ කට්ටියට එතනින් අයින් වෙන්න කියලා මේ මිස් කිව්වයි කියලා අපිට වණේඩේ කිව්වා. මොකක්ද?
නෑ නෑ එහෙම මේක තමයි ඒක මේ වැරදි පණිවිඩය. එහෙම දෙයක් නෙමෙයි උනේ. මේ අපේ NDR වාර්තාව ආවනේ. වාර්තාවට අනුව එයාලයි තව පවුල් 5ක් තියාගන්න කිව්වා.
60 families were temporarily evacuated from the risk zone of Thalawit mountain to a temple.
District Secretary has received the report. According to that, only 5 houses are to be removed. But we who live close by are also in danger. We were asked to go back to the houses.
The Gol Udagama Mapalagama Central College was damaged by the floods. The school was cleaned today with the help of students from a number of schools in the northern province.
Our students went there and those children came here. Our teachers got together and performed this task. We are all brothers and sisters and we are the children of Mother Lanka.
Minister of Health Dr. Rajita Senaratne warned of a possible increase in the spread of dengue with the adverse weather conditions.
The event was held to provide 50 pickups for the dengue eradication program. Tenders were called for the purchase of these pickups and 50 vehicles were purchased for the minimum bid of 70 million rupees.
ඩෙන්ගි කියන එක මැලේරියා වගේ සෞඛ්‍ය අමාත්‍යාංශයට මර්ධනය කරන්නට පුළුවන් රෝගයක් නෙවෙයි.
Dengue is not like malaria that could be eradicated. However, the ministry is seeing great progress in terms of eradicating dengue. Even by the year 2015, we had eradicated it to a great extent. But with the floods in 2015 and 2016, there was an increase. Keep in mind, with the recent floods, there will be a drastic increase in dengue. That is the reason why we are taking all precautions. We have distributed 500 fumigators. We are hoping to employ 1,500 persons for the dengue eradication program. I have received the cabinet approval for this. We have already trained 350 persons in this regard.
The Japanese disaster relief expert team presented its final report on the floods and landslides that affected Sri Lanka recently.
The expert team has included certain recommendations in this report. The recommendations include early warning and dissemination, promotion and resettlement away from potential risk areas, proper land use plan and regulation with risk profiling, hydrometeorology and landslide observations, risk profiling and basin-based disaster risk reduction strategy, investment in DRR for sustainable development. This report has been presented to the Minister of Disaster Management, Honorable Darshana Yapa, Minister Vijit Vijay Munizoiza and the Secretary to the President.
On Action TV tonight, we highlight an extortion ring that is preying on school sportsmen.
In a backdrop where young sportsmen and women are not nurtured through a national sports academy, schools serve as the only platform of opportunity for young sportsmen and women. Therefore, the Ministry of Education is entrusted with a far more greater responsibility for increasing participation to both academic and extracurricular activities among students. In relation to such activities, the Ministry of Education must work hand in hand with the Ministry of Sports. However, today, there appears to be a rift among both ministries, something similar to a Cold War. When sports in the country see a complete destruction as a result of this rift, many matters will come to light. What needs to be done is to give prominence to sports in school level. However, the Ministry of Education had taken many arbitrary decisions in relation to sports in schools, including the appointment of the post of Director of Sports for national schools. It is in fact the young sportsmen and women who suffer the consequences as a result of the negative precedent set by the Ministry of Education through its act of playing games with school sports. Today, players from around 20 teams had visited Colombo to take part in the Under-20 Joint Schools Hockey Championships, experienced the result of these actions. These school hockey players were forced to meet a certain so-called mandatory requirement to participate in the event. This clearly shows that the event has been made a gambling den. We managed to capture the manner in which 5,000 rupees was collected from each player before the commencement of the tournament. The Sri Lanka Schools Hockey Federation had organized the event with the approval of the Ministry of Education. The secretary of this federation refrained from speaking to News First. The consultant for sports science and physical education at the ministry made these remarks to Sports First in this regard. One of the main reasons for sports to see a downfall is prominence being given to money. This becomes the reason for an unclear future in sports for school sportsmen and women. Some students will have no funds or power. They will gradually leave the sport. School students are indeed a greater investment for sport in the country. Rather than giving them the opportunities to grow and excel in sports, they are being extorted by persons who are more focused on money. Shouldn't such persons be taken away from sports and education? Secretaries to the Ministries of Education and Sports, this is over to you.
Sirasa TV, the television network that transformed itself to become the most powerful and influential life brand, celebrates 19 years today. The theme of this year's anniversary celebration is Thana Hadana Thana, loosely translated into the place that created the place. Taking into account that many lives were lost and many others were affected by the inclement weather, Sirasa TV decided to have a simple celebration and refrained from airing the event live. Sirasa TV was able to pave the way for a new era in the history of television in the country after going on air for the first time in the year 1998. Sirasa TV did not falter nor fail amidst many obstacles and even in the face of ruthless attacks. It has been able to be at the forefront of providing entertainment and informative programming to Sri Lankan television audience for 19 years. While capturing the audience with a wide variety of international and local drama, Sirasa TV was able to further glue the audience through programs like the Sirasa Superstar program, which is the first reality TV experience in the country. Perfect moment. Sirasa TV was not only able to etch its mark as an innovative entertainer, but was also able to engrave itself as people's channel, coming forward during times of disaster and public despair. As many of our viewers are among those affected by natural disaster, we decided not to have a grand celebration in marking 19 years. A moment of silence was observed to remember the lives lost to the disaster at the event held at the Stein Studios in Ratmalana. The senior management of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited and members of Sirasa TV were in attendance.
What are we here to celebrate today? Is it 19 years for Sirasa? Is it 19 years of entertainment? You know, grabbing people's hearts, imagination, making them cry and laugh? Is it 19 years of paving the way for the truth and giving strength to that? You know, actually, I think what I'm celebrating here truly is the fact it's not Sirasa, but it's all your hard work. It's our producers, our directors, our parents, engineers, actors, actresses. It's all of you that made this the most powerful brand in the country.
But critical thing in our business is, it's not a matter of entertaining, it's not a matter of informing, it's a matter of connecting. You connect with your consumer, you will always be an alive brand. As the years go by, it is critically crucial to remain young at heart and young at mind, because that will always ensure that we remain connected to our audiences. We continue to deliver beyond expectation of our audiences.
All of you have worked hard for this. Some of you, as Priyanka said, have been here from day one. But what really distinguishes our brand is that we are truly the people's channel, and their love and the value they place in what we do, is what has made us Sri Lanka's #1 channel.
People celebrated the way we run our channel, the way we carry our responsibility. For Sirasa, the name is Sirasa, the top. We are not another channel. We are here to provide leadership. So I must tell that Sirasa, as the top of the channel, as the name suggests, we are not here to be another channel. We are here to be the top. We are here to be the leader.
What does News First do? Does it merely report the news in a balanced manner? That is what is done by conventional news. We always appear on behalf of the welfare, development and rights of the people. We represent the people and work for the people. We work to build a better country. That is why we say that we are the place that creates the place for the country.
The joint convener of the Left Centre, Chamira Pereira, criticised some of the government's actions. The government promised to provide free Wi-Fi. The same government is now taking even the internet data card. The president issued a special instruction to restrict the individual known as Muhundan Kanage to director of ICTA and not CEO of ICTA. We witnessed how the instruction was disregarded. He becomes the CEO and the media questioned about his salary, yet they have failed to produce details of his salary. Information has come to light that the head of ICTA is attempting to take over the project to create electronic IDs for citizens. This is a serious issue. The government must manage the matter of obtaining, processing and storing private information of individual citizens. If that is given to an overseas company, it becomes a serious issue. It affects the privacy of the public. If individual information is accessible to all, then this is a serious matter. Over Provincial Councillor Samantha Vidyaratna convened a media briefing in Badulla today.
When we consider the facts, the Uva Provincial Council is a place full of thieves. The Chief Minister is one of the most corrupt ministers. We went and complained to necessary places, including the Bribery Commission. He went to the Sinigama Devalaya in the vehicles that were purchased from the tax money of the people and fuel pumped with the money of the people. Now the complaint that we lodged is being investigated. It has been revealed that the Chief Minister is a rogue. Not only him, there are many politicians who have stolen and are still in Parliament. They should have been sent to prison. Therefore, this is a country where thieves sit at thrones. This is a government of the thieves. Therefore, there is no point in asking government. They are all in the same boat.
සෑම කාර්යාලයක වගේ තිබෙනවා ජෙනරේටර්
නෑ ඇමතිතුමා නෑ මම ඊටාම වගකීමෙන් කියන ගාල්ල දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ භාගයකටවත් නෑ
ඔට කියනකො මම මේ කියන්න යන්නේ දැන් ජෙනරේටර් වලට වඩා විශ්වාසවන්ත විසඳුමක් තියෙනවා සූර්ය බලයෙන් කියන්නේ බැටරි සහිතව බැටරි සහිතව
ඇමතිතුමා වයින් කාලේට සූර්යයා එන්නේ නැහැ කියලා දන්නේ නැද්ද
අහගන්නකෝ අහන්නකො දිගොතුමිය
දන්නේ නැහැ ඒක නිසා
අහන්න තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ එතුමිය සූර්ය බලය දන්නෙත් නැහැ එතුමිය බැටරි දන්නෙත් නැහැ එතුමිය කොහොමද කරන්නේ ඉතින් පොඩක් අහන් හිටියා නම් දැන් දෙයක් උදව්
අවසාන කරන්න
මම
Deputy Minister Ajit P. Pereira and MP Geeta Kumarasinghe got into a rather intense debate yesterday. Today, speaking at a media briefing in Bandaragama, the Deputy Minister responded to questions on the debate. Technology has evolved in the world at present. Battery-powered generators are less famous compared to solar-powered generators. This method is a huge success. It is my fault that I tried to explaining this to MP Geeta Kumarasinghe. Whenever I tried explaining it, she started yelling and insulting me. I believe that this debate, which happened when we were talking about the disaster situation, shed a light on some of the important information that most people are not privy to, like Geeta Kumarasinghe. 250 families affected by floods in Veliatha were presented with dry rations today under the auspices of Minister Sajid Premadasa.
The aid was presented through the monetary provisions made by the Ministry of Housing and Construction and private donors. The persons who were defeated in the elections are trying to portray themselves as they could be the government better than good governance and protect the Sambuddha Sasana. Sadly, the former president does not have an understanding on who King Devanampiya and Mihindu Maharahatan Thera were. I would like to request the former president to go to Sunday school and get an understanding before making an attempt to become president again.
Speaking in Parliament yesterday, Minister Mahinda Samarasinghe praised the President for giving the leadership in the face of the recent natural disasters.
එවැගේම මෛත්‍රීපාල සිරිසේන ජනාධිපතිතුමාට මගේ විශේෂ ප්‍රණාමය ස්තුති පුද කරන්න ඕනේ.
At this time, I express my gratitude to President Maithripala Sirisena. When he returned to the country on that day, he immediately evaluated the situation and held a meeting at the Kalutara District Secretariat that very morning. He summoned all the officials, the 3 armed forces and the IGP, and took decisions in relation to all 5 districts and not the Kalutara district alone. I must in fact praise him for giving us such leadership at that time. It was because of the leadership that he provided that the officials also became more efficient in their work. In the political culture that I remember, a president had never before personally visited an affected area and taken action on behalf of the needs and requirements of the people. He has visited all 5 affected districts. When such an incident had taken place, no other leader had ever visited all the affected districts. In a very short period, he personally visited all those districts and gave leadership to fulfill all those requirements. He did not stop from there. At the recent cabinet meeting, he proposed for a relief forum to take place.
Well, you know, up-to-date more news follows on our website www.newsfirst.lk. That's it from the News Desk. I'm Joel Outskun. Take care. Have yourself a great evening ahead.